Oh, what's going on, guys? Gamer Dude back once again with some more informative gaming news. But before we get into this video, y'all know the routine. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. So, as many of you probably know by now, ahead of the D23 game showcase, the Captain America game has officially been revealed with a small teaser trailer. Now, we now know for sure that the project will be set in World War II, featuring Captain America and Black Panther. However, it needs to be stated that this isn't T'Challa's Black Panther because, of course, it's World War II. It's T'Challa's grandfather. So, what we're going to do in this video is break it down, find some quotes, throw in a couple of ideas of my own about what this game actually could be and what we can expect from it. So, let's get into the video. So, as I said, details from Skydance new media in development Marvel game have been revealed. It debuted at Disney D23 Games Showcase the other day. The game is to star national superheroes Captain America and Wakanda's own Black Panther, but once again, this is the World War II Black Panther, not T'Challa. Although they could have included T'Challa, you know, a nice time travel story at the same time would have gone in well, considering, well, we know what happens to Cap. But yeah, I'm diverging here, so let's continue on. Skydance's project is being headed up by former Uncharted director Amy Hennig. Now that name holds major provenance in my books because Uncharted was absolutely flawless. I mean, yes, she didn't work like properly on the environments for Uncharted or, you know, the characters or anything, but she directed it. You know, it was her say in what went into those games as stories, and the stories were fantastic. So I have high hopes for it. I have high hopes that, you know, she, with her directing it, so it could go either way. You know, it could be a bad case of she says something, but Skydance is like, let's not do that, or Disney's like, no, this is too dark, you can't have that. But we'll have to wait and see, because with Disney in charge of things like this, you never know how it's going to turn out, really, because, you know, Disney likes to downplay everything. Anyway, she has headed up other projects which have unfortunately been cancelled in the past. One such cancellation was Visceral's Star Wars action-adventure game, which never got to see the light of day. There's a lot to expect from this. You know, it's a Marvel game. Superhero games are coming back with a vengeance. You know, we've got all the devs working on them these days. We have Insomniac, who's obviously doing Spider-Man and now Wolverine. We've got EA Games working on a standalone Black Panther game. We've got Skydance doing this Captain America game. We had Telltale Games do it with Guardians of the Galaxy and Batman. We've got Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, and now Embracer Group working on Avengers and possibly Guardians of the Galaxy and any other titles they may want to feature. Now, personally, in my opinion, I'm hoping this is all these different superheroes in these different universes is setting up for some kind of secret invasion game, you know, a battle world game, because that would be so dope to have all these characters from all these different universes interact in this one game. And that's just me speaking as a fan, and, you know, because the MCU is going to be moving into Secret Invasion, or Secret Invasion, that's the Skrull thing, not Secret Invasion, the Battle World thing. That it's got me all hyped up to think that all these different game universes doing these characters could, in fact, bring us to the famous Battle World. You know, seeing Insomniac Spider-Man fight alongside the Avengers version of Spider-Man, seeing the Avengers Captain America fight alongside Skydance's Captain America, or EA Games Captain America, EA Games Black Panther. I'm getting confused now because there's so many going on, but EA Games Black Panther fighting alongside Marvel's Avengers Black Panther. It's just going to be so incredible if they did something like this, if this is what they were working toward. I would personally do this. I would bring them all together at the end and be like, yes, let's do this. Let's bring them all together. Let's do a multiverse story. You know, let's have Battle World at the end of it. But that's just me as a fan. You know, I'm fanboying here, so let's move on. But if you are a fan of Marvel games or indeed superhero games, you do have quite a bit to look forward to in the coming months, with the release of Marvel's Midnight Suns now confirmed to be coming at the end of this year, ahead of Spider-Man 2 coming out next year, and the Wolverine game, which has still yet to receive an official, like, announced trailer. We got that little tease of Wolverine in the bar, but we've still yet to receive like an official announced trailer and a release date for that. So I'm guessing that's still very, very early stages of development while they continue to finish polishing up Spider-Man 2. But that isn't all that's on the horizon. Now, once again, as you all may or may not know, Marvel Entertainment has now got a partnership with Skydance New Media for a brand new video game from, as mentioned earlier as well, Uncharted director Amy Hennig. Since then, not much was known about the project. It's leaked out from time to time. You know, we've learned that they were indeed making a game. We just didn't know who was going to be in it, where it was going to be based, and what was going to be done with it. But more news, as I said as well, was brought out at the D23's Disney X Marvel Game Showcase, which I did watch, and it seemed more like a mobile palooza. That's just a play on words, because, you know, most of the games revealed were actually mobile games, which I don't really see the point in, because how many people actually still play mobile games? I mean, I haven't really significantly played a mobile game since back in school, and that was well over 12 years ago. So, I mean, I guess kids could still do it. You know, kids might enjoy it, but if you're a gamer of my era, then it's a bad case of these mobile games. They just don't really provide what the average gamer is looking for. I mean, that's just my opinion anyway. Feel free to disagree with me. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about it. Do you prefer console/PC based gaming, or do you prefer mobile gaming? No matter what age you are, just let me know in the comments down below. So during the Disney D23 showcase, they did indeed show a trailer for Captain America World War II. I think that's going to be the name of the game, Captain America World War II, because that we all know it's going to be featured in World War II with Cap, Black Panther, and who are the other characters? I cannot for the life of me remember their names because I don't really follow them in the comics. Here we go. It's Gabriel Jones, who's a US soldier, who's also a member of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, leader of the fledgling Wakandan spy network. So, guessing she was a member of the Dora Milaje. So there are 4 official characters in this game. And personally, instead of this Gabriel Jones guy, I'm thinking they could have included Bucky. Unless another studio is working on a Bucky video game, which also seems doubtful. Although a Winter Soldier video game, that might work out, I suppose. I mean, World War II, they could have included Wolverine as well, but I'm also guessing with Insomniac pretty much owning the character rights to Wolverine now, with their exclusive deal with Marvel, I'm guessing they probably weren't allowed to implement Wolverine in this particular story. Either that, or it was a bad case of, well, with the upcoming Wolverine game, they didn't want to confuse fans, they didn't want to confuse people, so they didn't include him. But I would have loved to have seen Wolverine fighting with Captain America. Now, how this game plays out, nobody knows yet. Is it going to be a kind of Grand Theft Auto 5 character switching situation where you can just switch between any character? Or is it going to be more like a Guardians of the Galaxy slash Avengers style thing where you put them on your team and you just tell them where to fight? You know, you tell them who to fight and you get these awesome combo moves that you did in Guardians. Or are you going to be able to switch between them mid-fight like you're going to be able to do in Gotham Knights? Don't know yet. That's just me throwing out a fan theory. Let me know what you think. But the tagline for the new game does actually read, 4 heroes, 2 worlds, 1 war. The official description for the Untitled game project reads as follows. Skydance New Media and Marvel Entertainment's upcoming narrative-driven ensemble adventure game is set in the Marvel Universe and features an original story that will take players on a World War II era adventure with 4 playable heroes at different points in the story. A young Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, Azuri, T'Challa's grandfather, and the World War II era Black Panther. Gabriel Jones is a US soldier and a member of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, who's leader of the fledgling Wakandan spy network. That was touched on a little bit in the Black Panther movie. Skydance New Media is helmed by award-winning writer and director Amy Hennig. This title marks the first initiative from the new AAA Games studio. So I must also stress enough, I know I mentioned earlier that I'd love to see all these games come together in kind of like a big battle world scenario at the end with all these different Universal characters. But so far, it has been confirmed that even though Avengers Tower is featured in Marvel's Spider-Man, Marvel's Avengers is completely separate from Insomniac's Spider-Man. You know, the Avengers are just like there as a reference. You know, they will never actually be featured in the Spider-Man universe. Well, so far as we know. Who knows where Spider-Man 3 will take us if we get a Spider-Man 3. But I do think it's kind of disappointing that we've got references to all these other characters in these games, but they're not actually appearing. Because even in the Guardians of the Galaxy game that Square Enix put out, there was a reference to Spider-Man and the Avengers. When you're on that big celestial hand thing in the void to nowhere. I don't know if you played the game, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. You can hear some audio from people from Earth talking about Spider-Man. You hear some woman say, "Look, it's Spider-Man," and then Peter Quill makes a reference to the clowns in costumes on Earth, presumably referring to the Avengers. It is a shame that these characters just get the references but don't get the inclusion, because I would love to see the Guardians of the Galaxy mix in with all this as well. You know, have them be playable characters in the Avengers, have their own story, have the Avengers go to space to help them out. You know, that would be dope. Because really, Marvel's Avengers, it really wasn't what they promised us. Anyway, moving on. You can watch the reveal trailer. It is out there for everybody to see now. I didn't want to include it in this video in case I got copyrighted like a mofo, because Disney really don't like people using their content unless they are specifically told they can use it. So I didn't use it. Instead, you get Marvel's Avengers. But one of my main questions from watching this trailer was, will Black Panther and Captain America be friends, enemies, or just frenemies? You know, it's been confirmed that players will follow the 4 heroes in the new narrative-driven game, although it seems that the characters may be at odds with each other in the game if the vibranium claw marks on Captain America's shield are anything to go by. The description for the Untitled game also confirms that this iteration of Black Panther is, of course, as mentioned, T'Challa's grandfather, who wore the suit during World War II. In the comics, Azuri is known to have defended Wakanda from a Hydra invasion and fought alongside Captain America. Now, if you're a fan of Marvel, you know that to be true. It's been mentioned in several iterations. In one instance, it was even how Captain America got the shield, because he was sent there with a platoon or something, and as a thank you, they gave him the shield. But it does seem that they will be, because of that, foes at some point in this game. Maybe playing off something that I just mentioned. You know, maybe he does go to Wakanda to try and stop Hydra. Wakanda sees both Hydra and the U.S. Army as an invading force, and that is where they become enemies. And then later, after all that's sorted out, they become friends. I don't know. Or it could just be something as simple as he comes to America, Azuri comes to America, sees Cap's shield, and he's like, that belongs to us, that's vibranium, where did you get it? And then he starts fighting him over it, that kind of deal, because we've seen that before as well. But also, as I mentioned earlier, you know, we have that Black Panther game rumored to be in development from EA Games. That unannounced title is also said to be an open world single player game, so will likely be very different to this project, because it seems like the Skydance project is going to be similar to Marvel's Avengers in that respect. You know, it's going to be simple environments. You're going to be able to run around these little environments, fighting a bunch of enemies, and then you go off to another environment. Whereas EA's Black Panther game is fully open Black Panther. That is just incredible to me, because we've seen little bits of Wakanda in the Avengers game, and now we're going to be able to see the whole deal, and that is just so appealing to me. But this Marvel game is, of course, the first major project from Skydance New Media. It is their first AAA game since they became a thing. But it isn't the only title the studio is working on from Disney's massive slate. Hennig confirmed earlier this year that they are also working on a new game set in the Star Wars universe. So that's big news for you Star Wars fans. However, no new details were revealed about the Star Wars game at the D23 showcase. Most likely, again, because they are putting all their focus at the moment into this Captain America game. But yeah, that's it for this video then. So thank you all for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Do you think it's a waste of time? Do you think it's worth doing? Do you think it's going to flop like Avengers? Or do you think that these developers have learned from the mistakes of Square Enix and Marvel's Avengers and implemented their own spin on these games? Do you think my theory about all these universes connecting in some way for a big Battle World event is going to happen? Because I would love to see that happen, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So yeah, that's it for the video then. Thank you all for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Once again, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. So, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.